2 leaks just dropped, and either one of them alone would have been enough to break this community. Blade SP is coming, and he is not on destruction. The path everyone assumed? Gone. What he actually got is going to make a lot more sense once I explain it. And Fate Part 2 is real. Gilgamesh and Rin are both coming to Star Rail in 4.3 on the same patch as Blade. This is not a normal leak day. Let's get into it. Blade SP is going nihility. Not destruction, not abundance, nihility. This comes from DK2, one of the most consistently accurate sources in the HSR leak community, and it is already getting serious traction everywhere. Before you react, let me give you the context that makes this actually make sense. The original Blade is a wind destruction unit. HP consumer, self-damage, Mara struck immortal. The guy who literally cannot die no matter how badly he wants to. That is his whole identity, endless suffering wrapped in a sword. Now think about what nihility represents in Star Rail lore. Void, negation, the path of characters who debuff, who corrupt, who deny. For a man defined by a curse he cannot escape, a life he cannot end, nihility is not just a mechanical choice, it is a character statement. HoYoverse is not just giving Blade a new kit, they are giving him a new philosophy. The timing also lines up. 4.2 beta files already contain level up materials for a nihility character. That is not a coincidence. That is a 99% confirmation that 4.3 is Blade SP's patch. His silhouette was already teased in the Plain Arcadia announcements. The pieces are all there. Now, full transparency, earlier leaks were pushing an abundance direction, a healerish damage hybrid type of kit. That angle had some traction for a while, but the nihility leak from DK2 has completely overtaken it at this point, and thematically it is the stronger argument by a mile. An abundance blade would be interesting mechanically. A nihility blade is actually Blade, the man who carries the weight of immortality and cannot put it down. Nihility fits him in a way abundance simply does not. No confirmed kit details yet, but we can make educated guesses based on his thematic direction and how 4.x SP forms have worked so far. Nihility in 4.x leans toward debuff amplification, enemy weakness manipulation, and damage over time synergy. For Blade specifically, someone whose entire kit history involves self-damage and HP management, expect HoYoverse to find a way to weaponize that pain into something that punishes enemies instead of himself. The suffering is still there, it just has a new target. And now the leak that nobody saw coming from a completely different direction entirely. On a completely random Thursday, no warning, no teaser, nothing, one of the most reliable sources in the community dropped the news that Fate Part 2 is happening in patch 4.3. 2 new characters, Gilgamesh and Rin. If you watched last year's Fate collab, you already know this is massive. If you did not, the first collab won Best Gacha Collaboration of the Year at the Tap Tap Gacha Awards. People are still using free Archer almost a year later. HoYoverse made that collab genuinely good, and the community remembers it. Part 2 is bringing the 2 characters that everyone expected the first time and did not get, which means the hype is already starting from a place of finally rather than who is this? Gilgamesh is the king of heroes, the most arrogant, most powerful, most iconic character in the entire Fate franchise. His whole thing is that he has the original version of every noble phantasm ever created locked in his treasury, and he rains them down on enemies like the universe owes him something. In Star Rail terms, destruction DPS is the obvious fit. Fire or imaginary element most likely. Think high single target damage with noble phantasm-style burst windows. The community is already speculating he could be the free character of the collab, since HoYoverse tends to give free units to male characters, and giving away Gilgamesh for free would be the most unhinged, generous thing this game has ever done. Whether he is free or not, his kit is going to be built around doing absurd damage and making it look effortless, because that is Gilgamesh. Rin Tohsaka. Rin is the smart pull here if she ends up being a support. There was a rumor floating around a few weeks ago about a Harmony Fate character coming this year. Basically, everyone dismissed it. Looking back at that now, it was probably Rin, a universal support with special synergy bonuses for other Fate characters on the team would make her slot into any lineup, while also rewarding people who pulled Archer and Saber last year. If Rin buffs Archer, and there's a real chance she does, anyone who held on to that free unit from the first collab just got a very good reason to pull her banner. The event. The Holy Grail War event is returning with a full makeover. Same framework as last year, but redesigned, similar to how Divergent Universe gets remade annually. Expect new stages, new rewards, and the same chaotic energy that made the first one memorable. Banner structure is still unclear, whether Saber and Archer stay live alongside Gilgamesh and Rin or rotate out, but 4.3 is confirmed as the launch window. Blade SP going Nihility changes everything we thought we knew about his SP direction. Gilgamesh and Rin arriving in 4.3 makes that patch one of the most stacked in the game's history. Both of these drop in the same patch. Your Stellar Jade situation is about to get complicated. One question, Blade SP or Gilgamesh? You have enough for one. Which one are you choosing and why? Drop it below because I genuinely want to see the argument. Subscribe for the next leak breakdown the second it drops. See you there.